I just knew that it didn't feel right. I never took a honey deal because I didn't trust it. And holy shit, it was so much worse than I ever could have imagined.
Times YouTubers tried to warn us. There have been times when YouTubers tried to warn us.
Decided that he was gonna go to school and shoot up his class. And he killed 8 people, including his principal.
They dropped the truth right in front of our eyes.
Now in the near future, Equals 3 will no longer be part of the Maker Studios network, so I'm gonna film here for a while. Even if I don't have the proper equipment at home, you know what? Even if I have to film butt-ass naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode, goddammit.
But we laughed, we scrolled, and we moved on until it all came crashing down.
Lil Tay is a little girl, a 10-year-old girl who came from Canada, who plays ballet. You know what I'm saying? She don't know nothing about no rappers. She don't know nothing about flexing. It's her brother that runs her account.
Let's begin with the one they called the King, PewDiePie. On a quiet January day in 2017, PewDiePie looked into the camera and said something that most people laughed off until it wasn't funny anymore.
Oh, what is this? 5-year-old threatens to dethrone the YouTube king, PewDiePie, over my goddamn dead body, over my vegan.
Back when Ryan's world was just beginning to explode, PewDiePie wasn't impressed by the flashy thumbnails or the millions of views. What caught his eye was something much darker. While the internet fawned over the idea of a 5-year-old child becoming a millionaire by recording himself while he opened his toys, PewDiePie saw the cracks in the glossy surface. He felt that the videos were somewhat exploitative, because it did seem like Ryan's parents are pushing him too hard for commercial gain.
Has it really gone to that point? Making fun of 5-year-olds? Everyone in the entire world should know who this kid is. I bet you most of you who've seen this video have no clue. How do you get that amount of views?
He also jokingly accused the channel of possibly buying views due to the disparity between views, likes, and comments.
I've seen a video with 11 million views and 9,000 likes. Please direct me to that video because it doesn't exist. These are not real people. These are not real views. There's only 1,000 comments.
It was more than sarcasm. PewDiePie was seriously concerned. He hinted at something being off, like skewed engagement, parental pressure, and a child brand being milked for every drop of ad revenue.
Are we celebrating this? Are we celebrating the fact that this mother is like, you think he's getting any money of this? Do you think he's getting the toy?
Initially, most people brushed it off as another PewDiePie roast, but it wouldn't stay that way for long. Turns out, he was right all along. Slowly, the silence cracked. Other YouTubers began to speak, the same concerns PewDiePie hinted at, the strict parental control, blurred lines between play and profit, and the mental toll on a child raised in front of a camera. Now this seriously impacted Ryan's world. The channel started going downhill. Yes, the subscriber count remained high, but the views told a different story. His videos that once used to pull in tens of millions were now struggling to reach a fraction of that. Some say it's because Ryan is growing up and his audience was mostly toddlers, but others believe the magic is gone because people are no longer watching with wonder. Because behind the toy unboxings and cartoon thumbnails was a machine, a billion-dollar brand, run not by a child, but by adults who knew exactly what they were doing. Then came the FTC. In 2019, a formal complaint was filed against Ryan's World, accusing the channel of deceptive advertising practices. It turned out that nearly 90% of their content included paid promotions, but to a toddler watching, it all looked like innocent fun. And that's when the world began to see what PewDiePie saw years earlier. Even longtime viewers began to feel uneasy, commenting on how exhausted Ryan looked or how unnatural the family dynamics had become. And it all circles back to that one moment in 2017 when PewDiePie looked into the lens and gave a warning. But this wasn't as chaotic as what we're going to tell you next. And the Sidemen clearly didn't anticipate this. What started as a fun way to raise money for charity almost turned into a scammer's paradise. If you don't know who they are, well, the Sidemen are a group of 7-ish YouTubers who've built an empire off of gaming, vlogs, and entertainment.
Hey guys! And welcome to the Sidemen channel.
Hey guys, 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 and welcome to the Sidemen channel.
Yo guys, and welcome to the Sidemen channel.
But one of their proudest achievements is the annual Sidemen charity football match, which is a huge event where influencers and celebrities play football to raise money for good causes. And by 2025, it had become massive.
Yes, that's right. It's Wembley, baby. 90,000 people. Be sure to get your tickets. Monday, 18th of November. It's gonna be amazing.
We're talking Wembley Stadium, massive. Tens of thousands of fans were awaiting this. As soon as the news came out, the tickets were sold out in minutes. But between all this excitement and fun, something was seriously wrong. Out of nowhere, fans started getting scammed. Some of the fans bought tickets from links shared on Twitter or Instagram. And some found extra tickets being sold by what looked like real fan accounts. But when purchase confirmations didn't arrive, the fans started panicking. The situation was very tense. But luckily, the Sidemen jumped in immediately. They posted a warning across all their socials that said, bots and fake accounts are claiming to sell charity match tickets. These are most likely scams. They begged fans to buy only from Ticketmaster, which was their only official source.
We check on eBay, people are reselling.
I really dislike the fact that people have thought, there's a charity event, let me go and buy a ticket
disgusting.
so I can sell it to make 10 times the price of the ticket for myself.
I heard a rumour that we can find out who they are. Did you hear what I said?
What was your rumour?
We can find out who they are and just make the ticket void.
Yeah.
Oh, can we?
But what if someone buys it and then they turn up? That's also sad, because if someone's like desperate.
Very true.
Turns out this wasn't the first time. Back in 2024, they'd already faced a similar issue where scalpers were buying up tickets and reselling them at insane prices. What should have been a £20 charity ticket was suddenly being sold for £200. The Sidemen publicly condemned it, but this time it was far worse. Scammers had created entire fake websites. They used Sidemen logos, faked confirmation emails. They even impersonated official staff on social media. Of course it was convincing, and people were falling for it. But because the Sidemen were super quick with their warning, the majority of fans were saved. Their transparency and quick warnings, plus massive reach, helped stop the scam before it got even bigger. It was 2007. YouTube was still young, raw, and unfiltered. And in the middle of that chaos, a man stood with a camera and a warning. His name was TJ Kirk, but online he was known as the Amazing Atheist. He was a loud, opinionated, and controversial guy. Not exactly someone you'd expect to give a life-saving warning, but then he uploaded a video, and this time it wasn't about religion, it wasn't about politics either, it was something far more disturbing yet important. So TJ spoke about a trend he had noticed online. He said teenagers these days, especially the ones who are lonely, are openly praising the Columbine shooters, not as satire, not as curiosity, but with genuine admiration, as if they were heroes. And TJ was terrified. He looked straight into the camera and said that these aren't just kids trying to be edgy, these are real threats hiding in plain sight. And if no one says anything, something awful is going to happen.
The man or the boy who would eventually, on this very day, become another mass murderer.
But no one took him seriously. People laughed it off. They even said he was being dramatic, until 5 months later, something happened that no one could have imagined, not even in their worst nightmares. On November 7th, 2007, a horrifying incident took place in Jokela High School, Finland. An 18-year-old student named Pekka Erik Arvinen walked into the building with a gun. He began shooting his classmates and teachers in the corridor before even reaching a classroom. All in all, he killed 8 people, and then he turned the gun on himself. The world was shaken. No one could understand why it happened or where it came from.
Decided that he was going to go to school and shoot up his class. And he killed 8 people, including his principal.
But TJ, let's just say he was ahead of time, because months earlier, he had called it out by name. He saw the signs before anyone else did. He sounded the alarm, and no one listened.
I want to talk about these kids, they're not just kids, there's adults too, who seem to extol Eric and Dylan here on YouTube. I'll link to all of their profiles once again.
In the aftermath, people went back to that old video. They watched it again, and this time, they heard it differently.
We're always talking about about warning signs, and could we have seen it coming? Well, you know what? If you want to look for warning signs, there they are. Those are your warning signs.
What once felt like over-the-top commentary now felt like a direct warning. Every word hit harder this time. Because what if someone had paid attention? What if the authorities had flagged that behavior? What if TJ's words had sparked action instead of just internet arguments? In 2012, one of the internet's biggest stars tried to warn us. Like always, nobody listened, and by the time the truth came out, it was already too late. Ray William Johnson, yes, that Ray, the king of YouTube back then. He did something no one expected. At the height of his fame, he took a stand against one of the most powerful companies in the YouTube world, the very well-known Maker Studios. Back then, nearly every big creator was signed with them, and they were collecting creators like trophies. But Ray saw something darker behind the scenes. On December 11th, 2012, he broke the silence. In a video that shocked fans and creators alike, Ray revealed that Maker Studios was bleeding him dry. They wanted 40% of my YouTube AdSense money, he said, after production costs. But it gets worse. They wanted 50% of my show's rights, forever. Not for a year. Not for 5.
Last night, Ray William Johnson posted a guest editorial over at New Media Rockstars explaining his side of his breakup with Maker Studios. It gets better. The article also claimed that they were holding his AdSense account hostage for the past 2 months, even though they promised to relinquish control.
Forever. In exchange for, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Of course he had to refuse, but when he did, they turned on him. He said, "I tried to walk away. I said no. But then things got ugly," Ray explained. Suddenly, negotiations turned into a full-blown war. They threatened to shut my show down. They tried everything to force me to give up my intellectual property. Ray stood his ground, but the price was high. Even after his contract ended, Maker Studios allegedly refused to release his AdSense earnings.
Now in the near future, Equals 3 will no longer be part of the Maker Studios network, so I'm gonna film here for a while. Even if I don't have the proper equipment at home, you know what? Even if I have to film butt-ass naked in a back alley, you guys are getting an episode, goddammit.
Ray then dropped the final bombshell. He received a threatening message from the CEO of Maker Studios. "Your lack of integrity and character are sad. Prepare for war. Let that sink in." A major company threatening its biggest creator for speaking the truth. It was chilling, but it also sparked something. Other creators started stepping forward. Shane Dawson, once the golden boy of Maker Studios, said, "I got the exact same text 3 years ago." Even Philip DeFranco spoke up. And yet, despite all the warnings, nobody really acted. Big names like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, they all joined Maker Studios just 2 years later, the same company Ray warned us about. And guess what? Eventually, it all came crumbling down. The creators started speaking up, complaining about shady contracts and the delayed payments. By the time the truth became undeniable, the damage was already done. But Ray sounded the alarm when no one else would, and yet, we ignored it. In 2018, the internet's favorite troublemaker did something no one expected. Whoa, Vicky has always been known for outrageous antics and viral chaos, but all of a sudden she went silent, and when she spoke again, it was a cry for help, but not her own.
Lil Tay is a little girl, a 10-year-old girl who came from Canada, Vancouver, who plays ballet. You know what I'm saying? She don't know nothing about no rappers. She don't know nothing about flexing.
In a dimly lit, unusually raw video, Vicky spoke of her friend, Lil Tay, the 9-year-old internet phenom who had taken over the web with stacks of cash, sports cars, and profanity-laced boasts. But behind the designer shoes and Insta fame was a child sobbing off camera. "She's really a good person," Vicky said softly. "It's just her brother in her ear telling her what to do."
She's really a good person. Like, it's just her brother in her ear telling her what to do. Like, he makes her cry. Like, we went to a GQ concert.
According to Vicky, Lil Tay's brother wasn't just a sibling, he was in fact a puppeteer, controlling her every post, pushing her into provocative content, shaping a persona designed to go viral at the cost of her well-being. And it wasn't just pressure, it was manipulation, more like exploitation. A child cracking under the weight of internet stardom while the world cheered and double-tapped.
I didn't shoot in anyone else's house.
You didn't shoot in anyone else's house? Just like...
No one has proof that I did.
But this time, the clicks didn't silence the truth. Before long, Vicky's video went viral and fans were stunned.
And all her videos and shit, I'm saying? He basically exploiting his little sister for clout and shit, like telling her what to do all the time, making her say this crazy stuff. She don't even know what half the stuff mean, you know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. Using your little sister to live a life you wanted to live, you know.
For the first time, the world saw Lil Tay not as a meme, but as a little girl crying out behind the curtains. The noise reached Tay's family, and slowly she stepped back. Soon, she disappeared from the spotlight and reclaimed the childhood that was nearly stolen. Whoa, Vicky didn't just go viral that day. She became a hero in a world that loves villains. But here's the thing, did she do it out of care? Was she really trying to protect Lil Tay? Or was it just another viral play? Perhaps a way to tear someone down and steal the spotlight? I guess we'll never really know.